Hi, now I'm going to talk to you about the 200 point options for the big, huge project for this course. Basically, I'd like you to write a proposal like you did for the 100 point thing. And let's just jump right into the curriculum map and let's see what that is. All right. The curriculum map is more of a flyover than a curriculum unit, which is individual lesson plans and a test and stuff for a unit of study. The curriculum map includes a bunch of units, so I don't want you to make lesson plans for every last one of those units. I want you to spend the amount of time that you would take making 10 lesson plans. I want you to take that time and map out intricately how your whole 8th grade math curriculum should look, or how you're going to integrate teaching for transformation through your whole upper elementary grades next year, or how you're going to, as a team, bring in thematic units and what those themes are and which standards they're linked to and that kind of thing. Okay, so the final format of this is really going to depend on you and your needs and your team and your school. So email your team members if you're thinking of something and you need a department chair or a principal or the colleagues on your team to give some input or to give some advice or permission or whatever. But a curriculum map can be really cool. So quite often it's done in Excel, but it can be done in Word, in a table format. I've got a bunch of stuff here. We had a Zoom meeting last year that you're welcome to look at, and we can have another one this year with those who want to do that. We can get together and kind of hash out what you're going to do and kind of learn from each other a little bit. Something I'm adding this year to this option is if your school is doing spiritual development or character education. So character education is a really big growing topic across the country. I think some Canadian provinces have looked at that. There are a bunch of websites that like effective character education. So you can go in here and kind of look at some of those options. I've got a whole document handout that you can download there that gives some charts of the different types of character traits. And if you're at a Christian school, a CSI school, for example, TFT is big in some CSI schools, especially across Canada. Some local schools have gone through training for that. So if you're excited about that and wanting to thematically integrate TFT, teaching for transformation, through your school curriculum or a single grade curriculum or something like that, that's what this project is for. Okay, so go ahead and read this, get an idea. And figure out how you could map and sequence and make the whole thing flow together. I see this as more than just a bunch of tiny squares with codes in them for a scope and sequence chart. But a scope and sequence chart can certainly be the starting point, the heart of this project. And if that's something your school wants or needs, you can do that. Now, that could also be scaled down to be one of your 100-point projects, and then you could do a full-blown unit as one of the examples for your 200-point project. So Talk to me about some of your ideas and some of the pros and cons and different options that you're tossing around in your head. Here are some examples. Putting information technology through the curriculum, redoing third grade math for the whole year, an economics focus through probably high school. Somebody redid their whole 9 to 12 English program. Last year, well, I don't have last year's on here, so this is 2 years ago. But you get some ideas from this here. And more than half of the class picked this project last year. So I want you to identify, the specifics of the school and the grade level and that kind of stuff, and then write a little paper as well. Kind of saying, how does doing this and focusing on this and trying to get the team or whoever's involved to make this shift and this change, what does that imply about the view of the student versus like the view of the curriculum and the role of the teacher in that and the purpose of school? And some of those worldview and philosophy of education issues, because those kind of drive our decision making, but sometimes we have decisions that are made, sometimes not by us, about the format of the curriculum, the standards of the curriculum, that really significantly impact our how we can view the student or how we view the purpose of schooling and things like that. So I want you to think about that stuff as well, and put that in there. So that's it on that. There's a pretty intricate curriculum map. Curriculum map rubric that you can look through and read, and that's how I'll assess your final product on that. All right. I think I'm going to say a few words right in this video about the other option, the other 200-point option, which is the curriculum unit. I don't feel like I need to say as much about that because you've probably written units before. Again, I've got a little rundown on what I'm looking for, some other information and a Zoom meeting from last year. And again, we can have a Zoom meeting with those who want to do a unit. What should be in the paper, some of those worldview assumptions about the student and things like that. Here are some examples. And I've had people doing this stuff for like 25 years in curriculum classes I've taught. So these are just some more recent examples. But if you're thinking you want to have a unit on a certain theme or topic, or a new novel or something you want to teach, this might be your option. And then here's the rubric. I have a longer rubric with more words in it, but the same categories that you can click on up here, right in there toward the top of this description. And then this is what will actually pop up in Canvas on the screen when I'm grading your final project. So the written introduction, the unit objectives based on UBD, understand the definition they use of understandings and essential questions and big ideas. Are you incorporating those things into your unit? Are you designing it backwards so that those things and the student learning outcomes for the whole unit are the driving consideration, not covering the textbook or covering the topics? And then going from there, do you have assessments that are appropriate for those things, and authentic assessments, not just, did they memorize a bunch of stuff each week or something? And then how do your lesson plans then offer the best ways of getting at that, with some variety for learning styles, for differentiated types of learners? Do you have some writing in there, some group work, some technology, that kind of stuff. So it's all in here, and we can talk. And a lot of the discussing of this kind of thing goes by email, just between you and me. But we can have phone calls. We can have a Zoom meeting. I'll set it up, and we'll just talk, like this. If you're involved with somebody else on your team, and you're going to team teach a thematic unit or something, maybe check with that person before you then check with me about some of the ins and outs. But so those are your two options for your big giant projects for this course. Just do one of them and kind of think about, do I want to do a curriculum map, which is what most of the people in school leadership do, because they're heading for a more administrative role, and the curriculum map is a a more high-flying, broader view of the curriculum. Or are you thinking about a class that you're going to teach in the fall or the spring, and you want to have a unit for that, and you want to have 10 brand new lesson plans and some activities and a field trip and a test and this kind of stuff, or a project, presentation, problem-based learning, that kind of stuff. So this is kind of exciting for me to talk about, because I get such a variety of cool stuff that people almost invariably say, I was going to have to do this work anyway, or I've been wanting to revise this piece, and this is cool. This is going to be useful, and that's exactly what I set it up to be. This is at a much higher level now that you've had experience and done some more reading than any units or curriculum mapping you would have done as an undergrad before you were even a licensed teacher. So this just takes it to the new level. Okay, so I always look forward to what people are going to come up with for these, and I'm very available. Really a huge part of what I do in this course is the one-on-one, figuring these things out and then giving feedback. And do send me stuff that's ideas and partially done and stuff. Don't just send it all in at the very last due date and then and wonder whether certain things should have been different or something. All right, so I better quit there. We're at about almost 13 minutes, so I'll post this, and just be sure to ask questions if you have any about these projects.